righty, open mic number 3 coming at you right about now.
Hey Larry, Jay from Orlando, and I enjoy the show very much. I would like for you to comment on these major manufacturers pushing the electric vehicles, and it seems like they are not pushing the charging stations across the rural America and the interstates. If I could, I'd like for you to comment on that and see if they're doing enough about that. Thank you very much.
Let me see, how can I say this? I don't want to make anybody mad. But listen, if you've got an electric vehicle, if you want an electric vehicle, and you are literally driving, to work and back, and it's within your charge on the car, you might be okay. But listen, if you take an electric vehicle out of town or something to where you've got to drive any distance, and you go to one of these charging stations, a lot of people don't realize they charge you for this. And if you're on a major highway and you go into a service plaza, the average cost is about, 30, 40, somewhere between $30 and $40 for a quick charge. It's going to get you another 80 miles. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Who would do that? I mean, and then have the inconvenience of, if you're somewhere off the beaten path, like you just said, having to find a charging station. Get up in Umatilla, Florida, and try to find you a charging station, up there in farm country, and see how many they are at the local Quick Mart. I'm just telling you, this is if you're going to be using that charge and charging it only at your house, it makes a lot of sense, But if you're going to drive a car out of the town or something like that, there's no way I would go through that, And I guess, they'll keep adding charging stations and stuff, but I'll tell you what it's going to do. It is going, you got the government with their war on oil trying to force car manufacturers into building electric cars, so at least they got something to sell that they're not going to be ridiculed over. And what's going to wind up happening is so let's just say, for an example, they're going to start producing less gas cars, okay? You got California crazies out there holding up a crucifix, no gas cars after a certain date and this sort of thing. Well, what it's going to wind up doing is it's going to put so much pressure on folks wanting to keep their gas cars that we're going to have problems getting all the parts that we need to keep these cars on the road. I mean, something's going to give sooner or later. And the thing is, now you've got the biggest shortage of automotive technicians, good ones, that I have ever seen in my whole entire life. I mean, this is going to become a very, very interesting situation. The parts issue, the technician issue, and then you got people out there that are not going to go quietly into this good night and hand over the keys to their gas-powered pickup trucks, especially the ones that work them for a living, and they don't have the luxury of going and plugging the darn things in anywhere they want. But like I said, if you got 3 miles, a little ways from your house, you go to the grocery store and you work real close to home, and you can come back and you can plug it in, and life is good, and you don't have to hunt down a charging station. That's fine. But if you take one of these vehicles out on the road, listen, it will probably cost you more to charge these vehicles up as you need to charge them than it would be to put gasoline in a gas-powered car. Not even counting the lack of charging stations. You get out into the right place, there's no charging stations. Go to Umatilla or somewhere, some rural area here in Central Florida, let alone some of these places in through Kentucky and West Virginia. Pull into your local bank in Huntington, West Virginia, and start looking for a charging station. They're going to laugh at you. So, this stuff the electric car thing is still in its infancy. We see a lot of it here in Central Florida. But as time goes on, I think there's going to be a major, major, major demand for repair on gas-powered cars because people are not going to let go of these things. If they do buy an electric, they're still going to keep a gas-powered car just so if they got to drive to Tampa and back without having to worry about charging the darn thing. So, that's kind of my take on it. for what it's worth. I just hope everybody's got transportation and can get to where they want to go and back safely.
Hi folks, Larry Perry here. For automotive information, maybe you got automotive questions on cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Maybe you're thinking about purchasing a used vehicle, and maybe you just want my opinion. Tune in to the Magic Mechanic radio show every Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. on wdbo.com. Also tune in to our Magic Mechanic YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll all get together, maybe fix a few cars while we're at it.